Prince George and Princess Charlotte asked Duke why homeless people have no home to go. Prince George and Princess Charlotte have expressed an interest in homelessness after watching rough sleepers on their way to school and asking why can't they go home. The Duke of Cambridge has revealed. The Duke said he made a point of discussing the struggles faced by others as he drove his elder two children to school at Thomas Battersea. He made the remarks in a BBC Christmas special as the Cambridges joined forces with Mary Berry, taking the 84-year-old former star of the Great British Bake Off along to some of their royal engagements. The visits are interspersed with intimate conversations about lives in which both discuss what inspires their work and their determination to ensure that their children, Prince George 6, Princess Charlotte 4, and 18-month-old Prince Louis, understand how fortunate they are. The Duke chatted to Berry during a visit to The Passage, a homeless charity in central London, of which he is patron. He described how his mother had taken him there when he was around 8 years old, actually aware of the importance that her sons were aware of what life was outside Palace's walls, and vowed to take his own children too one day. It had a profound impact on me, he said. Mother knew what she was doing with it. I know it sounds a bit contrite, but on the school run already, bearing in mind they are 6 and 4, whenever we see anybody sleeping rough on the street, I talk about it, he said. I explain why, and they are very interested. They are like, why can't they go home? Lifting the lid on family life behind Kensington Palace's walls, the Cambridges also revealed Prince Louis absolutely loves homegrown beetroot, and George is a Chelsea fan despite his father's efforts to the contrary. As the Duchess gave Berry a tour of her new play garden at Arches, Wisley, she spoke about how much her children loved being outside and her desire to encourage families to spend time together and to focus on the simple things. Sometimes when it is chucking it down with rain and it's freezing cold and I'm dragging the children outside, they would probably rather be staying inside, she laughed. But I think it's important. She described how her children had collated a crazy little collection of bits and pieces procured from various places, and that they proudly showed their grandparents and friends. George thinks it's a museum, she said. It's very sweet. It's quite small. It's full of these little treasures, whether it's a crab's claw or a little shell he's found that he loves. And that's what's so nice for them. Their world's quite small. The couple's large, modern kitchen at Kensington Palace is clearly at the heart of the family life. The Duchess said she thoroughly enjoyed cooking with the children and encouraged them to be creative and independent as much as possible. She revealed one of the last things they cooked together was Berry's pizza dough, proudly telling the veteran presenter it had been a great success. She said they grew their own vegetables, including carrots, beans, and beetroots, which were a massive favorite. Louis absolutely loves beetroot, she said. Charlotte obviously likes her Charlotte potatoes. When it comes to birthdays, the 37-year-old is just like any other parent and loves staying up late to create an impressive cake. It's become a bit of tradition that I stay up until midnight with ridiculous amounts of cake mix and icing, she said. I make far too much, but I love it. Berry also joined the Duchess on a trip to Liverpool to visit The Brink, the UK's first dry bar set by Action on Addiction, which provides a safe space for those suffering from addiction. As they blended mocktails behind the bar, the Duchess admitted she once suffered an unfortunate mishap with a blender. I did this with a spinach soup once and I forgot to put the lid on it, she said. We ended up with spinach soup on the ceiling as they set off to serve their drink. She added, it reminds me of my university days when I did a bit of waitressing. I was terrible. The Duchess confessed that the nature of her charity work often had a profound personal impact and that it was not always easy to switch off and return to her own life. You have taken on so many interesting stories, quite romantic stories, and have to allow yourself to reflect and really take on what you have learned before you dive into your own life and school pickups, she said.